Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. Well, there's been a boost in the production of local music and its quality, and it's all thanks to the National Independence Festival of Creative Arts. This information from Culture Minister Stephen Lashley. He was speaking at a ceremony for NIFCA Gold Award winners at Illawarra Court. There were a record number of entries for NIFCA this year in the music category. Not only that, but more awards were given out in this discipline than at any other time in history. All of this, according to Culture Minister Stephen Lashley, speaks wonders for the amount of local music available and the quality of those offerings.
This is phenomenal. This is welcome news, because the area of music locally helps not only to promote our indigenous art form of music, but as we seek to propel the growth of our culture industries, we certainly would welcome those young people in particular who pen local music but who also perform it.
Prime Minister Fendel Stewart continued the tradition of not only signing each individual certificate for the Gold Award winners, but he presented them as well. Mr. Stewart said he was pleased several of the NIFCA entrants focused on the independence themes of identity and a future path for Barbados.
In this festival, our artists are the ones who lead in this deep discussion, critiquing our various structures and experiences, analyzing and questioning our habits, our standards, and our established norms, exhibiting our values, and presenting their works to the rest of the nation for comment, for support, or dissent, for criticism, or for commendation.
Mr. Stewart also made two special presentations on the night. The first to visual artist Roger Williams for the most original NIFCA entry, and the other to Marlon Legal, who captured the highly coveted Prime Minister's Award in the music category. Well, Barbados's Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave has announced plans to retire next year. Sir Elliot, who is a Queen's Counsel and a former High Court judge, was appointed to the post in June 2012. He made the announcement during an official visit to the psychiatric hospital.
And I regret to say that when this time comes around next year, you may well have a new Governor General coming to visit you, because I intend to retire sometime next year. By this time next year, if I'm alive and well, I have no intention of visiting as Governor General. I wish to retire and enjoy the peace and tranquility of my family.
Sir Elliot says while he has enjoyed the position of Governor General, his family's wishes have prompted his decision to retire. Meanwhile, Acting Hospital Director David Leacock says there are plans for physical improvements at the institution. He says the overall goal is to improve patient care.
The only true measure is the clients themselves. And in 2017, we are going to ask our clients essentially what they think as far as the care we are giving can make it better. So we are having patient satisfaction surveys to be done. We've already had a tool developed to gauge our dietary services and let us know the needs that we provide for our clients to meet their standards or what they require.
Relief for vulnerable residents in communities affected by water outages. The Barbados Water Authority has begun delivering the first batch of personal tanks to those hardest hit. Shane Seeley tells us more.
At 87 years of age, it has been hard going for Elma Small, especially during periods of water outages in this Gregg Farm community. Even when a water tanker would pass through the area, it would be simply too hard for her to lift what are heavy buckets of water from the road to her home. That's why she is the first recipient of a personal tank under the BWA's Personal Tank Program.
One Sunday morning, I go to church. I fix everything tonight, and tomorrow morning when I get up, not a drop of water. Good thing I had to catch little Latin out. But there's a lot of help to me now here. No help it is to me.
BWA Corporate Communications Specialist Joyanne Haig says the tank will provide a continuous supply of running water even during periods of outage. It could last Miss Small for up to 9 days. She explains the initiative falls under the BWA's Rapid Response Unit to help the most vulnerable in affected communities.
Because the community tanks, that's part of it. Water trucks, that's also part of the rapid response. But the personal tank program has also now been added to that. So we are going to give 50 tanks to the most vulnerable persons in the parishes that were hardest hit throughout the drought.
And Ms. Haig is assuring Barbadians the BWA will press ahead with the full PTP rollout next month.
The BWA will be working with those who would not necessarily qualify for a loan with other financial institutions. COB then will assist those who would be able to afford these tanks. And we're going to keep it we're hoping to keep it under $100 in terms of the payment plan. And the good news is it's interest free.
Now, over the next few weeks, the BWA will be contacting 49 other people in vulnerable situations, giving them their free personal tanks. Then in January will be the full official rollout of the personal tank program, allowing others in affected communities to get this option for relief to their water outages. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
A legal expert is worried child abuse cases are taking too long to reach the courts. Legal consultant and children's rights advocate Faith Marshall-Harris says often people abused as children are adults before their cases are heard.
Delays in adjudicating cases involving children is particularly heart-rending given the brevity of childhood and the scars that are frequently inflicted by the lack of resolution. I know of a little girl who at 3 years old was allegedly sexually abused by her father. She's now 11 years old, or I should say 11 plus. And this has only got as far as the end of the preliminary inquiry. The High Court case is still to commence.
Mrs. Marshall-Harris was speaking at a recent discussion at the Frank Cullimore Hall. She supports the creation of a family court to speed up processing of cases involving children.
So in fact, I am urging that to get rid of some of those issues, we move very swiftly to a unified family court, which will have its special features in ensuring that delays of that nature are eradicated.
We'll return with more news just after this break. Stay with us.
By popular demand, Barbados Lumber Company will be repeating its 20% off store-wide sale this Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Waterford and 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Spitestown. Follow the crowd and get 20% discount on a wide range of lumber, plywood, paints, curtains, linens, and many more items. Have yourself a Merry Christmas with 20% discount from Barbados Lumber Company this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Terms strictly cash. This offer does not apply to cement and already reduced items.
My name is Brendan Clark. I'm the Managing Director of Star Trade Limited. On behalf of the staff and management of Star Trade Limited, we want to wish Barbados a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Barbados.
Siblings in Sports, a look around the globe and the island at retired, current and up-and-coming sporting siblings who've made great impacts on the world of sports. Brothers and sisters playing together. Siblings in Sports, Monday, December 12th at 9:03 p.m. on CBC TV 8.
Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, or UWI, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, does not believe Barbados will become a republic in the near future. Sir Hilary says Barbados is still thought of as Little England, and the continuing debate over the removal of the statue of Lord Nelson from Hero Square in the city shows a reluctance to cut colonial ties.
I believe that Barbados is deeply embedded in a certain legacy that is in the institutions and is now in popular culture. So the answer to that question, I think, Mr. Cook, is that my expectation is that Barbados will probably become the last country in this region to become a republic. I cannot see it.
Sir Hilary was speaking at the launch of his new book, The First Black Slave Society, Britain's Barbarity Time in Barbados 1636 to 1876 at the Errol Barrow Centre for Creative Imagination. He described the book as an examination of the effects of slavery on the state of the world today. Well, various sides of one of our national heroes are being showcased in a locally produced film. Barrow, freedom fighter, highlights all aspects of the Right Excellent Errol Barrow's life, not just the political parts. It was produced by Step by Step Productions, makers of Chrissy and Vigilante The Crossing. Producer Marcia Weeks addressed the final DLP lunchtime lecture for the year. She says after reading a short novel on Mr. Barrow, she was moved to create a movie on his life's work. Mrs. Weeks has insisted that the movie is in no way politically motivated.
While I do understand Mr. Barrow's connection with the Democratic Labour Party, but my motivation in doing the film was not at all political. It was all about inspiring a next generation. I felt that I was so inspired by this man and his work and his love for Barbados that I thought that I wanted young people to be inspired by this project.
Well, the film, which is narrated by former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, is by far the largest she's undertaken. However, she was determined to make a high-value production, especially given her subject. In the spirit of Mr. Barrow, she made sure the youth benefited from the production.
On set, we had students from the Polytechnic facility with us learning hairdressing, from wardrobe, catering, all the different areas of filmmaking and everything that happens on the set. We had people learning lighting and sound, and in total 120 persons. When we were finished, we also went to the Polytechnic and did a half-day training with them, and we're still keeping in relationship with them.
Well, the film is currently showing at the Olympus Theatres, and several schools are expected to view it next week. Terrace Primary School has 1,000 reasons to smile thanks to one of its pupils. Ryan Broom tells us more.
Over 150 primary school students submitted essays and designs to this year's World School Milk Day competition held by the Pine Hill Dairy. 10-year-old Salil Walcott Corbin of the West Terrace Primary School was awarded the top prize for her drawing under the theme Milk Saves the Day. And Principal Beverly Burrows told her charges that they should always put their talents to good use.
Very often you say, but I can't do it, but we know that you have a lot of skills in music, art, cricket, and you should always seek, never hide your talent, always seek to do the best you can. Salil did the entry, and as a result she won a prize, and the school as well. So let's hear it again for Salil as well as the school.
Salil, who is in class 3, says she likes to draw, and with a little help from her mother, took just one night to complete the picture.
Me and my mother went up on the internet and we found a whole bunch of pictures we liked. So we used our imagination and fused them together.
Sherry Boyce of Banks Holdings Limited was on hand to make the presentations.
This year, with the design component of the competition, we decided that we were going to feature the student that won that part and their artwork on the vanilla milk packaging. So this should come out about March, April, about 3,500 cases. And we're really looking forward to that part of the competition, actually being able to execute it and seeing it come to life.
For her efforts, Salil received a tablet as well as $1,000 for her school. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Well, sports news is next, and Ruberk is standing by with those details.